Here's the analysis result for the guy you filled out the survey for. The result? C minus. This guy is below par. He has some issues to watch out for. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's very good at talking himself up, and he may impress people with his confidence and ability to appear organized. But when it comes to actually putting in steady work and pushing through tough times, he doesn't have the drive or discipline needed to climb very high. You'll see lots of planning, meetings, and instructions from him, but not much rolling up his sleeves and getting his hands dirty.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he won't start crying or fall apart. He's quite steady on the outside. He'll stay calm, keep his chin up, and won't show much stress even if inside he's annoyed. Don't expect much sympathy if others are struggling. He's more focused on proving his point.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
He usually has lots of energy and confidence, but sadly, he doesn't really watch his words or try to see things from others' point of view. This means he often rubs people the wrong way with blunt or bossy comments, and he rarely softens his approach even if someone's feelings are hurt. He isn't the office favorite, and it's common for him to be caught up in arguments or cold wars with coworkers.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he's unlikely to feel happy for you deep down, even if he acts impressed at first. He's the type who likes to be right and on top, so your big achievements might make him feel left behind or threatened, even though he'll probably hide it with jokes or by changing the topic. He doesn't have much room for celebrating others unless it helps his own image.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he will almost certainly feel bothered, even if he doesn't speak it out loud. He's very sure about his own way being best and likes to be seen as the one in charge. So, your higher income can quietly bruise his ego. His support may feel half hearted, or he could show off or compete with you instead of working as a team.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He handles money in a very careful and planned way. He likes everything to be in order, so he'll keep a close eye on spending and may even make strict budgets or insist on sticking to certain rules about money at home. He doesn't believe in wasting or flashy shows. Saving and steady planning matters more to him.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives well within his means and doesn't pretend to be someone he's not when it comes to money. What you see is what you get. He would rather stick to a budget than put on a show or try to impress people with fancy things he can't afford. He finds pride in being responsible and keeping things on track, not in showing off.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He is quite tight with both money and his way of thinking. He likes to stick to his own rules and doesn't easily share or give, whether it's money, time, or a gentle word. He may come across as cold or a bit selfish, focused on himself and what he thinks is right.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is more likely to be controlling than open, especially with money matters. He wants to know exactly where every rupee goes, and he'll expect you to follow his rules without much discussion or input from your side. He prefers things done his way, and it's hard for him to relax if money is spent differently than he planned.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He's the type who believes in clear roles, and he's likely to think housework is mainly your responsibility, not his. He wants everything in order but expects others, especially women, to make it happen according to his rules. He might even point out what's not done properly rather than lending a genuine hand.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's more likely to stand back and supervise rather than truly pitch in with chores or diapers. You'll see him giving instructions, pointing out what needs fixing, or telling you how things should be done, but won't find him getting his own hands dirty unless he thinks it's absolutely necessary. If he does help, it's often with a lot of advice attached, which can feel more like extra work than support.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He is much more likely to argue to prove he's right than to truly listen and understand your side. During disagreements, you'll notice him focusing on winning the argument and making his point, not on finding out how you feel or meeting you halfway. Even if you calmly explain yourself, he may interrupt, correct you, or turn the talk back to his own views.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he doesn't lose his temper in wild or dramatic ways, but he can become quite sharp with his words. He may not yell loudly, but his tone can be blunt, cold, or cutting, saying things that sting just to prove his point or show his frustration. He's not big on kindness during fights. He cares more about being right than keeping peace or avoiding pain.
Does he have a bad temper?
He isn't the type to get angry at the drop of a hat. You won't often see sudden outbursts or shouting from him. His anger comes out in a colder, more controlled way, like stubborn arguments or sharp comments rather than big storms. If you brush it off, thinking, at least he doesn't scream, remember, pain given quietly is still pain.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
It's very hard for him to say sorry or admit he made a mistake. He believes his way is right, so if something goes wrong, his first reaction is usually to explain why it wasn't his fault or even blame you, the situation, or someone else. Instead of a gentle apology, you might get excuses or a list of reasons why he couldn't have been wrong.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He has a hard time truly respecting boundaries, especially if they go against what he wants or believes is right. He may argue, push, or try to convince you to change your mind rather than simply accepting a clear no. It's not always shouting or anger. Sometimes it's constant pressure, debate, or acting like your feelings don't matter as much as his own wishes. He sees his way as the right way, so your needs and limits might feel unimportant to him.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he is likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. If you say no, he may feel upset or rejected and could make you feel guilty, act distant, or keep asking you to explain yourself. Over time, this can make you feel nervous to speak up about your own needs or comfort.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
With him, you need to be very careful. He isn't the type to openly share your private moments with the world, but if you have a disagreement or if he feels slighted, he might bring up intimate details to make a point or win an argument. It's not about public embarrassment, but about using your private moments as weapons in a fight at home.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is not the type who is always chasing excitement or looking for new adventures with other women. He values control and order and prefers routines over risky behavior. So he is likely to stay faithful in a relationship. However, he may not put much effort into romance or keeping the spark alive, which can sometimes make the relationship feel cold or distant.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
He is not the overly jealous or suspicious type, but he is quite controlling in other ways. He likes things done according to his rules and expects you to follow his ways. But he doesn't typically waste energy checking your every move or acting possessive about your friendships or work. You might feel boxed in by his strictness, but not chased or doubted as if you're always in trouble.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, with him, what might look like being protective is actually a sign of a controlling personality. He likes everything done his way and wants to be in charge of how things are run, even if he says he's just looking out for you. This kind of care can feel more like a cage than comfort, leaving you no space to make your own choices or grow on your own.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He will most likely expect you to do most of the work when it comes to parenting. He'll set the rules and expect things to be done his way, but won't usually step in to share the daily load of caring for the kids. Teamwork or fair sharing won't come naturally to him. It's more about leading and managing than about true partnership.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he usually stays calm on the outside and doesn't blow up or shout. However, he can become sharp with his words, pointing out mistakes or speaking in a cold, unkind way rather than offering comfort. He won't panic or leave the room, but his cool approach can make children feel more scolded than understood.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He is unlikely to fully support you as both a mother and your own person. In his mind, roles are clear. He'll expect you to handle most of the caregiving and household work, sticking to his rules and standards. If you want a partner who truly cheers you on as a mother and as your own woman, his support may fall short.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, he is exactly the kind of man who may seem supportive of your career at first, but once you have a child, his true expectations will come out. He believes in fixed roles at home, so he's likely to expect you to step back from your job and focus fully on managing the house and raising the kids according to his standards. This can leave you feeling trapped or tricked, realizing too late that your ambitions were never truly important in his long term plan.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is more likely to act polite on the surface with your parents than show true warmth or affection. He'll follow basic manners when required, but don't expect him to go out of his way to make them feel special or truly part of the family. He does what's expected, but genuine care or friendly bonding will be missing. He is far more likely to expect your family to adjust to him than try to adapt himself to their ways.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will usually handle it without losing his temper, but his style often makes things worse instead of better. He won't shout or storm out, but might use cold or blunt words, setting strict boundaries that feel harsh to others. You may find yourself stuck in the middle, wishing for someone who tries to bring people together, not push them further apart.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is likely the kind of man who may act modern and easygoing with you in private, but will expect you to be a traditional supportive wife, daughter in law in front of his relatives. He believes in fixed roles and strong family image, so he'll want you to dress, speak, and behave according to traditional expectations during family gatherings or when relatives are around. His support for your freedom or individuality often fades away whenever it could clash with how his relatives see his household.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension with his family, he is more likely to stay out of it or quietly side with them rather than fully support you. He values keeping his family's rules and image intact, so he will not want to rock the boat or upset his parents and relatives. His main concern will be to keep peace by having you blend in, even if it means you feel alone or misunderstood.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
He has a strong sense of loyalty to his own ways and, by extension, to his family's ways, especially his mother's. While he may not be openly clingy or childish with her, he is very unlikely to go against her or stand up for you in a conflict. You may end up feeling alone or unsupported, always having to compromise to avoid tension.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
Yes, there's a good chance he will share details of your fights or private matters with his mother or sometimes his sister, especially if he's used to turning to them for advice or support. He believes his family's way is best, so he doesn't always see the harm in discussing your personal issues with them, even if it means breaking your trust. Sharing your problems outside the marriage makes it harder to solve things as a couple and can drive a wedge between you and his family.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So, after all that analysis, we can conclude that this guy is a C minus. This guy is below par and he has some serious issues to watch out for. Being in a relationship with this man day in and day out often feels like living under a steady but heavy hand. He believes his way is the right way, so you'll be following his rules more than sharing decisions or shaping life together.